Hey, this is Randy from Funeral Funds of America. In this video, I'm going to show you the actual pricing for $25,000 worth of burial, cremation, final expense, life insurance, or funeral funds for a 72-year-old female. Now, the first thing I recommend is you go to our website at funeralfunds.com. We've got these free quoters on just about every page. You select the state that you live in. We are licensed in all 50 states, by the way. Select the coverage amount, put your birthday in there, the rest of the info. It'll take you to a page that's going to show you the best insurance companies with the lowest pricing in your state. And it will help you avoid some of those terrible plans out there you see advertised on TV or magazines where they advertise these really low rates and then they get you on the phone and they start jacking the price up and you end up paying 200% more. And now you've got a 2-year waiting period plan too. So yeah, we can help you be a smart consumer there. So you can also call us at 888-862-9456. One of our agents can help you out with this. Now, the first thing a 72-year-old female should ask herself is, when looking for $25,000, is that an appropriate amount for final expenses? Typically, that would be cremation or burial. So, as far as a cremation, the average cost of a cremation right now in the United States is between $1,000 to $2,000, and that's if you just come home in a cardboard box or an urn. Now, if you're going to have a cremation in some sort of a ceremony, that would be probably between $3,500 to $4,500. So if that were the case, we would typically recommend insurance-wise for that cremation where you just come home in a cardboard box or an urn, probably $5,000 to $7,000. And you'll notice that's a little bit more insurance than the actual cost is right now. But yeah, you're 72 years old and we're hoping you make it to 82 and maybe 92. And we know prices are going to go up in the future. So just because of that, we build in a little bit more coverage just to make sure that we can keep up with the cost of inflation. And then what's nice about that is, God forbid, if you did die a little sooner, there's some extra money to maybe pay off some extra final expenses or medical bills or something like that. So if you're going to have that cremation with the ceremony, then we'd typically recommend around maybe $7,000 to $10,000. Now, we don't recommend typically getting $40,000, $50,000 or anything like that. A lot of times when people do that, they want to leave money behind for children. But at 72, the insurance can be a little bit expensive. And most of the people we help are on a fixed or limited income. So it's really just our philosophy that, use this insurance for your final expenses, not to leave tons of money extra behind for kids. We really think that you're better off spending that extra money that you'd pay on premium to leave money behind for your kids after you're dead. Spend that money on them while they're alive. And you can have those memories and they can have those memories. And we think that's probably better than money anyway. Now, if you're going to get a burial, the average cost of burial right now in the United States is right around $10,000. So if you walk into a funeral home with the $10,000 check, they should get it done for you. It's hard to believe they wouldn't, and if they don't accept a check for $10,000, I guess you just walk down the road to one of the competitors and give them the money, which is why typically they're just going to make it work. They'll get it done for $10,000. It's not going to be anything fancy though, and we know that prices go up over time. So for a 72-year-old female, we'd probably recommend somewhere between $10,000, $15,000, maybe $20,000. Typically we wouldn't recommend $25,000. But if you've got the financial means and it's not a financial strain and you do want to leave money behind for kids, then go for it at that point. But if things are really tight, you just want to make sure that, we keep things very, very gentle with your budget and not overstress you at all on that. And always keep in mind too, that if you start with a smaller amount, we can always add more coverage later. We can help you do that. Now, one thing we'd always recommend is first aid coverage or benefits. Now, what that means is hypothetically, if your policy were approved today, and you died tomorrow, the insurance company would have to cut you that check for $25,000. Well, they cut the check for your beneficiaries anyway. And that's the coverage you want. It's going to get you the most amount of coverage for the least amount of money. We do not recommend plans with 2-year waiting periods. Don't do 2-year waiting periods. Now, I'll go over that in a moment here, but the one thing people do say about first aid coverage or benefits, they'll say, I like that first aid coverage. I certainly do. But I hear those policies ask health questions, and I'm not in the best of health. To which we say, yeah, that's right. They do ask health questions, but that's our problem, not your problem, at least from an insurance standpoint. That's why we work with so many different insurance companies, because they all have different health questions and they all have different underwriting. And we're getting right around 95% of the time, we're getting people first aid coverage or benefits. So we're really terrific at what we do. The only reason we wouldn't be able to get you first aid coverage or benefits is if you had some really significant health issues, like maybe you had a terminal illness and you're going to pass away in the next 12 months, or you had dementia, or you're on dialysis, or in a hospital or in a nursing home. If that were the case, we'd typically recommend to refer you out to a different insurance company. And the other thing that seems to happen, at least on a weekly basis, we get somebody that will call us up and say, hey, we just had a family member pass away and they didn't have insurance and we don't have any money, and now their body's at the funeral home and the funeral director's not going to do anything till he gets a check in his hand. So we need to get this insurance really quick so we can get a check in our hand to get the money to the funeral home director. And we have to let them know there's no insurance company in the United States that is going to give a policy and approve a policy on a dead person. And it's really so sad that the person who passed away, they knew they were going to die. They knew they were going to die. And yet they ignored this, or they just thought they'd get to it someday, and then they ran out of time. And now their family's going to end up having to pay for it. And what ends up happening most time is these families have to put it on credit cards, and they're paying 26% interest. And it's going to take them years and years and years to pay off. And that's going to be your legacy. After all the good you've done, legacy is going to be that you're the one that left this behind for them to put on their credit card. So don't do that. Don't do that to your family. It's a terrible thing to do. This insurance is affordable. Get what you can. If we can always help you add more coverage later. But yeah, don't be that person. Don't leave that negative legacy behind. So let's talk about the 2-year waiting period. So Colonial Penn is one of the more well-known companies, I guess. I think it's probably just because they advertise on TV every 7 minutes, it seems. But yeah, so most people don't know that $9.95 plan is a 2-year waiting period plan. Yeah, ouch, right? So there's other companies out there that offer 2-year waiting periods, like Mutual of Omaha, their United of Omaha line, AIG, Gerber, many of other companies too, that the only thing they offer is 2-year waiting period plans. And a lot of these companies have done a pretty amazing job of convincing the American public that the only thing that they will qualify for if they're over age 50 is a plan with a 2-year waiting period. And we always just look at that and we go, ha, ha, ha. You do not fall for such nonsense, because we help people with first aid coverage all day long. Yeah, don't believe that garbage. So our 72-year-old female, a lot of times she would be thinking, I really got the better of Colonial Penn, because I waited until I was 72. And now I'm only going to pay $9.95, but I'm probably going to get $25, $30, $40, possibly even $50,000. And I'm only paying $9.95. And then she talks with the Colonial Penn agent, or goes online and looks at their website, like we've done for you here. And she will see, for a female age 72, 1 unit of coverage, $9.95, is only $896. Yikes, right? I mean, that's not even enough for a cremation in any part of the country that we know. And it doesn't really matter, because it's got a 2-year waiting period. It's not going to pay out for 2 years if you die of a health or medical reason. So, yeah, just a lot of people would say that there's companies out there that offer really low pricing, and they're called teaser rates, and they're just to get you to call in. And then the upsell starts, and they try to extract more and more money out of you, because that small amount of coverage means nothing to most people. And we're not saying that's the case with Colonial Penn, but you may want to form your own opinion about that. But yeah, so if we're looking at $25,000, the problem with Colonial Penn is they only offer up to 15 units. And at 15 units, that's only $13,000. It's like almost half of what you really want at $25,000, and it's going to cost $150. So let's go look at what first aid coverage would be. Colonial Penn is just not cutting the mustard here. $25,000 female, age 72. Get quote. We're going to come back and look at this. Roughly $13,000 for $150. Look at this. So right, two companies here, 141, 142. We can actually get, I want to show you this again, $25,000 for less than what Colonial Penn is charging for $13,000. So you really got to be a smart shopper. We can help you be smart shoppers. Don't fall for teaser rates and things like that because, man, so yeah, like roughly $10 more a month. So that's $120 a year. You'd overpay after 10 years, maybe, an extra $1,000 to $1,200, and you'd have half the coverage. Be a smart consumer. Get first day coverage. As far as these two companies go, there's some companies out there like Mutual of Omaha, their underwriting can be a little bit more challenging than other companies. Also, they can take, up to a week to get you an approval answer on it. Like a company like Trinity Life, we very flexible underwriting, and we can actually get an approval same day over the phone, and it's first day coverage. So it just depends what you're looking for out of a policy. But a lot of times, if it's within $1 or so, we tell people, we'll just let people choose kind of based off the benefits and how quickly things are paid and stuff like that. But look at other companies here. Again, we're 142, and like Lumico here's 168. Like $16 more a month. That's $192 a year. After 10 years, when our female is age 82, she will have overpaid right around $1,920. Why on earth would you overpay? We don't understand. You really need to get the lowest rate to start with, because then otherwise you're overpaying for the rest of the policy. And we can certainly help you out with that. Find out what you qualify. Let's look at another insurance. Like Lincoln Heritage here. So they're a fine company, I guess, but look at that pricing, $213. It is first day coverage, level coverage if you get approved. But yeah, they've got a deal where when you pass away, they'll call 2 or 3 different funeral homes, to supposedly get the lowest pricing, maybe do a couple of other things, but it's not free. Certainly it's not free. It's $213. They charge a higher premium. So that's $213 versus $142. That's roughly $71 more a month times 12 months. That'd be right around $852 more a year. Our 72-year-old female, once she hits age 82, she will have overpaid right around $8,520 roundabout. So you got to ask yourself, is it worth paying an insurance company right around $8,500 more to make 2 or 3 phone calls and do a couple other things that may only take an hour or so? Most people would say that's a tremendous payday for the insurance company, and we would tend to agree. We can save you a lot of money. What we recommend is we provide free of charge. You can download it off our website. It's a free funeral and estate planning guide. And inside that, you just print it out, and then you just fill it out. Who gets what goes where, and what you want done after you're gone. And you just keep that with your insurance policy. And now your family or loved ones, when you pass away, you've not only protected them financially with the insurance policy, but also emotionally with this funeral and estate planning guide. And they will know exactly what to do. They just need to execute your wishes, and they will have the peace of mind knowing that they're doing everything exactly how you want it. And they will know that you love them more than anything else on this earth, because you not only protected them in life, you protected them in death when you were no longer here, because you took care of that well in advance. And what a wonderful legacy to leave behind for your family. So yeah, just be a smart shopper. We can help you be a smart shopper. We've got a special quarter for people on YouTube that watch our videos, funeralfunds.com/YouTube, and you can get the best rates and the most discounts on that quarter. You can also call us at our toll-free number, 888-862-9456. One of our agents can help you out with that. And if you've got an existing policy and you want to see if we can save you money on it by price shopping, just reach out to us. We can help you do that. If you need to add coverage to an existing policy, we can help you out there too. If you need a brand new policy or just have some questions, we can also help you out with that as well. But we look forward to helping you get the most amount of coverage for the least amount of money. And we look forward to talking with you someday to make that happen. Until that day comes, you stay safe, you take care, you have a nice day. Bye-bye.